Sláinte. How you do, Buckaroos? How the heck are you? You know who I am. Yeah, we do, Tom. For better or worse. Been around a while. When I first started doing this, wasn't a whole lot of folks out there. Now there's a bunch. And there's other things, and uh, my videos are typically about the same thing. So if you're not a craft beer whiskey guy, there's no reason for you to tune me in. And then you get a beyond a certain age, and it doesn't matter if they like this topic or not. They're just not going to listen to it. So here we are. Trying to get something fixed real quick, but it's not letting me. That's weird. Anyways, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. I'm not going to do any whiskey today, but I may have a cocktail for you later. It's been warm here, so I wanted to experiment with something different. So I did a grapefruit lemon simple syrup, kind of refreshing, thinking, maybe like Tom Collins-ish or, do something along those lines. And working with ingredients I have on hand, which is always a thing with me. And I happen to have some lemon and I happen to have some grapefruit. So I said, well, let's try a simple syrup because I haven't done that. I don't know why. I should have done that earlier in the summer, but nevertheless. But I also have these grapefruit bitters. So this is being added to the cocktail as well. That particular cocktail will have the simple syrup I mentioned earlier, those grapefruit bitters, and then a local agave spirits. Yeah, it can't technically be tequila, but nevertheless, Yaki Das Welsh for cheers. They don't say, I thought they might give us some description, but they don't. It's a Blanco agave spirit at 80 proof. So I'm using this product, that syrup I told you about, some grapefruit bitters. I wanted to add some club soda, but I don't have any. I want to add some club soda. I thought maybe adding some, I have 7-Up and ginger ale, but it wouldn't quite be the same. Could just do the agave spirit ginger ale. That'd probably be all right as well. What are you drinking, Tom? So it's an IPA from Banter Brewing called uh, 66 Road Trip. To me, it's sort of an amalgam of a couple styles. I get a little bit of West Coast from it. I get a little bit of hazy from it as far as the flavors, but it is bigger in citrus than the tropical fruit notes. A lot of big citrus happening here. A lot of orange, a lot of grapefruit, especially in the end. That finish, you really feel that orange grapefruit zest note, which helps it finish very clean. Oh, man, it's delicious. That's just good, man. I don't care who you are. Oh, let me check this again, see if I can make it work now. It's not showing up for some reason. That's weird, man. Very weird. Yeah, it shows I'm going over there, but it's not giving me my feed. Hmm. There we go. Oh, it took it a while to pop up. All right, let me get that privacy issue fixed. Now you have my undivided attention. Sorry about that. I get very obsessed when things aren't working, man. Anyways, yeah, so 66 Road Trip, an IPA. I had a beer a little earlier in the day. About an hour ago or so, I had one Snapper IPA from Logboat Brewing out of Columbia. So I drank that a little while ago. But I had this growler from Banter. I thought I'd finish off. Oh. A perfect beer for the weather we've got, about mid 80s here in the Ozarks today. Oh, oh. The song is running through my head right now, and I've been obsessed with it. It's from the sensational, or originally from the sensational Alex Harvey band, 72, I believe, when the original came out. But I've also found, I found a few covers that were real interesting. Brittany Fox actually did a cover. I didn't know that. I don't know if I was aware of it back then or not. I don't know if I was aware of the song. But it's a very good cover. It does have that 80s 90s kind of feel to it. But then the Dead Daisies did a cover of it as well. That's really brilliant, a little edgier. And then I found another one from an artist I wasn't familiar with. Paul Pope, I believe, was the name. Let me double check. Yeah, Paul Pope, who I wasn't familiar with, and his version is brilliant. So, but I'm not only obsessed with the original now I'm also obsessed with all the covers. I've been just cranking that tune ad nauseum over and over again, various versions of. Well, I've been using Spotify, so I play the song from the original to see where the algorithm goes, to see what artist it gives me next. I've been doing the same with the others, so I've been finding it rather interesting. Depending on who the artist is, how the playlist change. Uh, they call me the Midnight Moses. Everybody's slowing down, checking out the neighborhood. That's kind of why I like to sit here at my bar, my little window on the world here. You, I got my little corner of the garage here, my little bar area where I got stuff hung up, uh, stickers I've acquired over the years. Something put them loose on me. Um, watch the watch everybody go by. This is the second day of school, and seeing the buses go by and everything. I like to watch it. My dream would be to have a house overlooking a freeway. So I just sit on my porch and wave at people. I like to wave at folks. Hi, have my beer right there. That would be my dream retirement right there. Don't want a mansion. Who needs that cleanup? Uh, just a nice little house, simple. Need two bathrooms though. My wife and I really got to have her own bathroom, but probably only need a couple bedrooms though. Just enough to have the grandkids over from time to time. Anyway, I don't need much to be happy. I've never been a things guy, to be honest with you. I've never wanted to collect things for the sake of collecting them. I don't want, expensive cars. I just want a reliable one that's going to get me here and there. Uh, I've never wanted a big house. That's just I don't know why you would. It just doesn't make sense to me. I guess there's bragging rights, but I've never been that guy either. So none of that makes sense to me. I'm a terrible capitalist, although I do like to buy a lot of beer and stuff, a lot of good food. But the notion of just collecting things for the purpose of collecting things, I've never been that guy. I don't need those things. Want a nice TV, but it doesn't have to be top of the line. The one we've had for almost 10 years now. Uh, it's not like I'm replacing stuff often. Got a nice sound bar, but we got that back in 2017, so it's a few years old now. Just don't need stuff. I'd rather have the memories or, buy good products, buy good food. But I don't know. I've never been that materialistic guy, which is odd because being Gen X from the 80s. Most of that generation was materialistic, or at least at one time or another, but I've never been. I never wanted excessive things. And I'm getting more like that as I get older. I'm getting relaxed, finding some zen. My wife and I could buy a few new things if we didn't go on a vacation this year, but it is our 30th anniversary. Quite frankly, both of us would rather have the memories in a new sofa. So we're going to do something we've never done before. Just take a nice. It's only about a week. We're only going to be gone a week, but for us, that's a long trip. We usually only go 2 or 3 days. We've never taken a trip longer than 4 uh, without the kids. So this is an interesting one. Just the two of us. We've gone about 8 days. I budgeted for 8. We may add a 9th in there. It kind of depends, but we're spending 5 nights in one spot, which we've never done before. Columbus, Ohio, of all places. But I know Columbus is a good beer town. My wife actually picked the location because of their stores. They're rated number 3 in the country. Well, why go to number 3, Tom? Why not 1 or 2? Well, 1 was Los Angeles, and she really didn't have an interest in going to Los Angeles. She looked at, and number 2 is Atlanta. But I think the type of thrift store she was looking for, she found more in Columbia. And I'd have been fine with Atlanta, but there's more craft breweries in Columbus, Ohio, so I was happier with that choice. The only advantage that you want to, if she'd have chose Atlanta, would be I have a friend not all that far from there, I don't think, that I could have visited or had him visit me, whichever. Anyway, bear with me. I'm gonna jump off camera for a second and grab that cocktail I was telling you about. Now, like I said earlier, in a perfect world, if I would have had some, I thought I had some club soda still, but I couldn't. I wanted to make the cocktail anyway, at least to try it without the club soda, so I can give it a little fizz if I had some club soda. And I thought about just doing ginger ale, but I really wanted to try this product with that simple syrup and the grapefruit bitters. So what I have here is the Yakida Agave Spirit Blanco at 80 proof. My a grapefruit lemon simple syrup, and then some grapefruit bitters. Using my Tiakida glass, as you see. Oh, I like that. I debated about using the grapefruit bitters. Says, this type of cocktail doesn't really require bitters, but I decided to add it for the aromatics, and boy, I'm glad I did. Boy, you really feel that. Wow. Yeah, like I said, in a perfect world, if I had some, I found me a fly swatter. I start killing some of these beasts. Those little bastards are getting on my last nerve, I gotta tell you. Then I had some club sodas. I got top of a club soda, but give us some fizz. It seemed like it kind of belonged. Kind of make it would kind of make it taste like a like a gourmet squirt, if you will. A grapefruit with some bubbles. Yeah, that'd be perfect. But it's nice as is. They call the Midnight Moses. Oh man, that's a nice. I was trying to come up just with a refreshing, summer-ish cocktail using ingredients I had. And since I had this agave, I thought, let's do something with that. And I didn't really want to go, margarita per se. So I had that grapefruit lemon simple syrup, kind of taking a different direction. But yeah, if I had some club soda in there, it would taste an awful lot like Squirt. Boy, that ain't bad though. I use raw sugar, fresh grapefruit, lemon to make simple syrup. That ain't bad at all, man. Get that bottle where you can see it here. They call me the Midnight Moses. Obsessed with that song. I got been obsessed with that damn tune. I don't know what it is. I can't get enough of it all of a sudden. I do like the original though. The Alex Harvey band was brilliant with their original. Here we go. But I like the various covers for different reasons. I wasn't necessarily a huge Britney Fox fan back in the day, so wasn't expecting much. But I hit their version of the song. I said, "Man, that's pretty brilliant." It's kind of got that '80s '90s feel. I think they did it in '91, but you know what I mean as far as that sound, right? It is really brilliant. It's heavier than you might expect. Um, but then the Dead Daisies did a version of it, a little edgier, but wow. And then I wasn't familiar with Paul Pope, so I pulled up his version, and that was pretty brilliant too. Got almost a little bit of a blues rock sound to it. But it's always interesting to me to listen to different interpretations of the same song. You know how another band feels it. But I kind of stumbled across the song by accident not too long ago, and I don't know if I heard it way back when or not, but it's not a song that stuck with me. But I hear it now, and man, this is a song that hits me hard, man. So, man, that song is brilliant. Then, of course, I had to research more and get into the Alex Harvey band, or the sensational Alex Harvey band. So I had to look at, get into their material. So, I like this band. I don't know why I wasn't more familiar with them. They were British bands. I don't know if they had much going on over here at the time. But I guess enough so where, bands like it was Britney Fox, and so you had a 90s kind of hair metal band pick it up and want to do a cover of it. The Dead Daisies, Paul Pope. So you got three different styles that are wanting to do a version of the song. So although it may not have been a commercially successful song, it certainly was an influential one. But I like delving into stuff like that. I like getting into it, man. Anyways, man, that's pretty good. I'm not a big tequila guy, in all honesty, and I only picked this up because I had to have it for a podcast with some friends that I do upon occasion, about every other Wednesday. But there are some that don't happen. And there's some that I've ended up having to work Wednesdays, which isn't typically my day. But I'll pick one up upon occasion. I've told my boss from now until the time I go on vacation, schedule me as much as humanly possible. So we all have scheduled days that we work. But I said, if any of them want to give up the shifts, I'll be glad to pick them up. Oh. They call me the Midnight Moses. Not a highball glass, I know. I didn't have one handy, but I didn't want to use their logoed glass here. So, what the hell? We'll just use this one. They call me the Midnight Moses. Uh, Man, it ain't bad. Yeah, it ain't bad. Like I said, I wish I kind of had that club soda to make it a little fizzy. But nevertheless, nevertheless, make it a little fizzy, man. Nevertheless, the flavors I like though. I like that agave spirit with uh, the grapefruit and lemon. I have a good gin. I get a Tiaki gin. Songbird. That I was making this syrup initially to do my home version of a Tom Collins, but to call it a Tom Collins, I really gotta have that club soda. I need to have fizz on there, man. And I have Sprite, and I have Schweppes ginger ale, but none of those would have been quite the same thing. I need just a plain club soda because I really wanted to try that Collins, but nevertheless. Yeah, so where I work, they carry North Shore Twisted Citrus Vodka. It's a nice, very nice uh, citrus flavored vodka. So I'm using that to make my vodka Collins. And then I've got a gin coming in to do my Tom Collins with. Wild Poet. Wild Poet's an interesting gin. It's an Irish gin, but they use German botanicals, which for me was I found interesting because that's the greater part of my heritage, on my dad's side anyway, is Irish and German. So the fact that there is that Irish German collaboration I found interesting, and it's a very good gin. They call me the Midnight Moses. I say I'm looking forward to vacation, and I am. But it's not like all in the past. It's because I really need a break from work. In this case, it's just that I need a break, not necessarily from work, right? For particular reasons. This is the best work situation I've ever had in my entire life. When you're younger and when you have kids, you want those weekends off, and they're hard to come by, especially the line of work I was in. So for the 5 years previous, I did have a job where I had weekends off, which was kind of nice. But the situation for my wife and I, we really didn't need them. So now I've got a job where I don't have that big stress. We don't have weekends off often, but that really doesn't matter because we can get everything done on a Tuesday and Wednesday. We don't necessarily need a Saturday and Sunday. And I am typically off most Sundays anyway, and a good portion of Saturdays. I get an occasional weekend in there, but just the work is just so fun. I've never enjoyed work so much. Which is why I experiment with these different cocktails when I'm at home. I go through different stuff. I try different simple syrups, see what works, what doesn't. But well, again, I designed that particular syrup to really be a Collins. More of a Collins mix, right? Do a Tom but I want to see if I can use it with other products, right? If I can make it work with tequila, for instance, come up with a cocktail where that and it really works. So I'm trying to figure out the right cocktail or what to call it. But it does. I mean, tequila, you naturally think lime because that's margarita. You naturally think of lime. But I want to try something different. I want to see how well with the grapefruit and the lemon give it a different tartness. I don't know if a tequila Collins is the thing, but man, that's pretty good, man. Again, a Collins obviously wouldn't use the bitters, which is why this is a little different. But man, that ain't bad at all. Again, the idea was to come up with a refreshing cocktail, something light, easy. Anyways, I need to finish this off. I just realized I've been talking for about 26 minutes now. By the time I finish this and get around to saying goodbye, we're going to be about 30 because I tend to be a little long-winded. Anyway, I digress. Hey, man, I want to appreciate everybody that tunes in or even gives a little bit of a rat's ass. Uh, but yeah, I really am looking forward to vacation. But in the past, it's always been because I just need to get away from work. Uh, this time it has just that I want to go on vacation. You know what I mean? I just want to be somewhere. I want to go someplace else. I haven't been anywhere else in a while, and I just want to do something different. And it's my wife and I, it's our 30th anniversary. I'm really excited to do that. We got married, like a lot of, well, I would say we were young, but not really. I was 29. That's young, but not necessarily get married. But yeah, we didn't have a lot at the time, and so we were only able to get away for a weekend. So I really never gave her that proper honeymoon. I wanted to give her. That's why when she came up with the idea of Columbus, that was perfect for me. Man, if that's what you want to do for a 30, that's absolutely perfect because it really, I wanted it to be more her idea, and I kept trying to, you know, feed her questions to get her in that direction. But she said, "No, you choose." So I started with, a lot of destinations, and I gradually narrowed it down based on kind of question and ask her certain questions. Can I take this city at this? And, by process of elimination, I was trying to find romantic cities for our 30th. So I had it narrowed down to New Orleans and Savannah, Georgia. And I won't tell you who finally won because it doesn't matter. But when I finally had it narrowed down to the one city, all right, well, first I got down to the two, and I told her the pros and cons of both. This is what we want to do here. This is what we want to do there, kind of thing. They had the hotel ready to book. I said, "You tell me which one, and I'm going to book it right now." Because I need to do it enough ahead of time so we can start planning, right? She said, "Whichever one." So I was, like I said, I was just close to hitting that book now button when she said, "But I have an idea." Oh shit! I dropped that sucker. She says, "You're going to think this is stupid." So no, just tell me. So, well, I was looking up the top 3 cities for thrift stores, as I said earlier. But anyway, I said, "Well, if that's what you want to do, fine." But I happen to know. Originally, I was trying to find, being our 30th anniversary, finding a romantic city, things we do together. But we've never been a joined at the hip couple that want to do everything together. We don't need to be together 24 hours of the day because for both of us, that's a bit overkill. So the fact that she wanted to do this in a place where I knew there was a lot of craft beer and distilleries, for instance, yeah, I just worked out. So anyway, we don't care, Tom. I'm just talking the beer whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy, Slancha.